Hi guys, and welcome back to another DrAce video, and today we're going to be playing Ride 4. We are here in Interlagos, in a very rainy Brazilian track, on board the Ducati Super Naked V4S, a Ducati that I will say I am very fond of. I used it a couple of weeks ago and I must say I'm quite impressed. I do really enjoy it. But this Interlagos time trial is going to be in the rain, of course, as you can see. The target is to get a 141. Pretty simple stuff. I can't imagine us having too much difficulties with this one. But this is actually from... Whoa, steady on! There's a big wheelie there. But this is actually from the South of the Equator trophy group in Ride 4 career mode. Part of the DLC that came with Kailami. And as far as the achievement slash trophy slash Xbox achievement description goes, this is beneath the Equator trophy group. So beneath the Equator and south of the Equator is of course the exact same trophy. But I seen this and I thought that is something I've missed, so why not do some of the time trials and some of the races on this particular group. They have 5 races, I think, 4 races, which one of them being an endurance race, and then 1 time trial, which is here in Interlagos. And as you can see, very simple stuff. There's really nothing to concern yourself too much by. If you're not a fan of the wet weather, then you're probably going to have a tough time here in Interlagos. But it's not too bad, and you pick the right bike, such as the Super Naked, and things should go your way. It should be relatively easy enough. So now we hop on board the Honda VTR 1000 SP1, a bloody brilliant bike, in a magnificent track of Phillip Island, as we wheelie a little bit too much there. But it's quite alright as we get another bit of a wheelie there. Now, I actually picked the VTR for simply one reason. The amount of bikes that you can actually use for this particular challenge are quite a nice amount, to be honest with you. It's all the race modified versions of 1000cc bikes. And my logic was, basically, if I use the slower bikes and the AI gets the faster bikes, then this would be more interesting. And of course, then it hit me and I realised during the race, the AI scales to what bike you use. So therefore, my VTR that's only at 8 on the top speed category, and less performance points such as the Ducati Panigale V4, we are not going to be able to do what I originally planned, when that was basically just to go up against faster and tougher bikes. I don't know why that slipped my mind, and I don't know why if I did know that I would have used it before, surely. But instead we're going to go for the old run-of-the-mill 5-lap Grand Prix, stay relatively further back and then work our way through. But of course with Phillip Islands there's a lot of fantastic overtaking points, such as turn 10 right on cue. As we move out, Charlie McGrath, Flynn Otto, as Flynn Otto fights back, puts us in the realm of Charlie McGrath, who's back of the grid almost. He's in 10th place, as we now hold it left to get into the rear of Flynn Otto, because there really wasn't any point of him trying to attack me there, because I have the speed on the straights to get away from him. Now just a quick mention as well, I do believe we have had an update for Ride 4. I have no idea what this update has done, apart from 1 or 2 things. I did an endurance race the second the update came out, and the only thing I could find that was different was that you could actually see what tyres every other riding was using all the time, and the lights glitched on. Like all the lights around the track, the floodlights, etc. They were on. They didn't emit any light, but they were on. And then towards the end of the Grand Prix, they did illuminate when required. So other than that, I have no idea. But what I did notice, which thankfully it didn't occur to me, but I'm pretty sure you can tell anyway. But one thing I did pick up on with the endurance race, which I was desperate to hear that was fixed, but it sadly doesn't seem like it's going to be. And that's the ability to use slick tyres and change them to rain tyres. Now, if you're doing a dry track endurance race and rain comes, you will not be able to change to rain tyres. Now, if it's the other way around and it's wet and you can go to slicks, that seems to work okay. But even when the track is wet, you can still pick slicks. And unfortunately, you cannot do the same on the other side. So we're going to make another lunge into turn 10. Bit of contact there with Chen Shi. He's going to be a bit annoyed about that one. He actually lost 2 places there. Even lost out to the Frenchman Lou Chabonaro. As Chen Shi fights back once more. Of course, this is only going to be 3 more laps remaining here, as Carlos Pavea Diaz leads this Grand Prix. Not sure how long he's going to be able to lead this Grand Prix with a very eager DrAce chasing the rest of the pack down. Frederic Murray in second, Diane Bintice and Fabio Vassallo are your top 4 currently as they stand. The Malaysian and the Italian having a good old battle in front of us as we close in into the southern loop. It's just a matter of when rather than a matter of if we get past these two. So going around the outside of the KTM rider. Not going to happen here. Well, in fact, we can make that stick. We could get 2 for 1 here. That is how it's done. The Malaysian relegated to 4th place and actually lost 4th place to Fabio as he pinched the illustrious 4th place spot. As we now make our way onto the podium for the very first time of this Grand Prix with Frederic Murray. He's sitting comfortable in 2nd place for now, but I don't know how long he's going to be occupying that spot for because there is a very, very vicious and aggressive DrAce coming towards him. Now, who am I kidding? I'm not that aggressive. I'm aggressive on the bike, I would say. Especially on the rear tyre. I went for the hard option front and rear on this one, and the rear is already down to 57%. Eagerness. It's one of those things. I do love the chase. I probably enjoy the chase more than getting there and passing them. Although there can be some wicked overtakes, such as my one in the World Superbike League against some of the other final riders in Mugello, especially to overtake in my favourite position of Savelli. But here my favourite overtaking position has got to be turn 10. There's no doubt about that. Following them directly into Lukey Heights and then dropping it into turn 10 is probably my favourite part. Do quite enjoy overtaking a Honda as well, turn 4, which is coming up momentarily. Of course, we aren't going to be close enough to DrAce, and it's worth to mention for perhaps the next lap. But I probably think we're going to chase him by the end of this lap, I would say. It's a given, you know. The AI is just not tough enough. We desperately need tougher AI. There's so many of us who are just trying to make things interesting. At least for me, I always try and hold back a little bit so it makes it interesting. Such as the Mugello race that went extremely well. So, well, it is what it is, but I appreciate that, obviously. The difficulty can remain as it is for the other players, but if I could have 150%, I'd be very grateful. So we now approach turn 10. We are not going to be close enough to attack DrAce. It's just a matter of time. Can we close him down and get past? We could potentially pass him on the straight, but is there really any excitement in passing on a straight? I remember in 2019 where Marquez toyed with Maverick Vinales for like the entire race and then just passed him on the straight like he was standing still. That was the most annoying and infuriated race I think I have ever had, because I was so looking forward to a great battle that would come down to the final corners, and Mark just opened the throttle and went straight past him. Then Maverick had to try and catch up like nobody's business, and then he crashed. So then it was just over. You know, great stuff from Marquez. He was terrific that race, but I was just so disappointed that we didn't get a good old ding-dong. I had found that a lot of times Marquez did that to Fabio as well when he was with the Sepang Racing team. It's brilliant stuff as we make our move up into turn 4. Do we let DrAce fight back? I don't think he's even going to have a chance, because we're already making our way up into turn 6, apologies, for Siberia. And we're going to be looking to escape underneath the Phillip Island circuit sign. And flicking it right momentarily for turn 8. Careful on the rumble strip there, it does kick you off if you're not careful. Just be careful on that. I've just noticed that actually the floodlights are on this track too. Has that always been there, or it's not something I've noticed? Yeah, the floodlights are definitely on in this one as well, and I don't remember whether I played this pre or post update, but I guess that's material now because it is lap 505. We have passed DrAce, and we are slowly approaching the final corner of turn 12 to accelerate into victory once again. Guys, it has been an absolute pleasure as always to create content for you guys, so I hope you enjoyed. If you did enjoy the video, please like, comment, subscribe, and I shall see you next time. Ciao for now.